I used to be an infinitely bitter, burnt out, and unmotivated entrepreneur. Sometimes it felt like I was my own worst employee because my only task was to check off things from an infinite to-do list. Everyone in the industry was signaling to me that I need a better strategy or I need more ambitious goals. Basically, everyone was pushing me to follow successful people in order to be successful. We're taught to build our businesses in a very structured, logical, and linear way, where in order to win the race, you have to just push harder and do more and do better. And while this strategy can work for a while, eventually it makes entrepreneurs exhausted, unmotivated, and bitter about their own businesses. I remember questioning every single day if this is how building a business is supposed to feel like, or is it me who's doing something wrong? I never knew that there's a different way of doing things. And it wasn't until I started addressing the insane amount of stress I was going through that led me to have a deeper dive in the concepts of feminine and masculine energies. So in today's video, I wanted to talk a little bit more about masculine and feminine energies in business and how you can implement a different mindset to keep things in more balance. So if this is something that you're interested in hearing, let's dive in. Let's just pause for a quick second. And if you're new here, hi, my name is Mercedes, and I help women reconnect with their passion and help them build a business that's lovable. On this channel, we talk about the art of slowing down, getting in touch with our inner genius, tackling uncomfortable phenomena such as imposter syndrome, and overall talking about different tools and approaches that can help you build a more fulfilling and purpose-driven business. So if this is something you're interested in, make sure to subscribe and/or share this video with a friend who you think might be getting some value out of it. Whatever you decide to do, I want you to know that you're gonna be supporting a small creator and motivating me to make more of such videos. Thank you for listening to me, taking a pause. Let's go back to the video. I wanted to put a quick disclaimer out that when I talk about the masculine and the feminine in the context of this video, I'm not talking about gender. I'm referring to the qualities and energies and approaches that are typically associated with these two entities. And if you've never even heard anything about this, I'm gonna try to briefly explain what I mean. Traditionally, masculine energy is this logical way of doing things. It's linear, it's structured, and it's focused on outcomes, goals, strategy, results. In my head, I imagine this as a do kind of energy. And it's very useful that it exists in all of us because it helps us get things done if there's a deadline, and it helps us see the world from a more logical point of view. When it comes to work and business, a very obvious example of masculine energy is the example of an assembly line or business processes, where you have a standardized, structured way of getting something done, and you have a level of outcomes that you know that system is supposed to produce. Feminine energy, on the other hand, is softer, it's more cyclical, it's more intuitive. It focuses on being receptive, it focuses on relationships and creating from a very creative space. It values collaboration and the beauty of that energy and helps us being in this creative flow where seemingly time and space ceases to exist. But as opposed to the masculine way of doing things, it can never produce a reliable level of output constantly. An example would be a painter who is channeling all their emotions and feelings into their art. Realistically, you can never tell a painter to summon all of their inspiration and produce 5 paintings till the end of the month, because an artist is known to be following the natural rhythm of their life. Sometimes they have creative periods where they have an insane amount of output, and that is followed by a period of slowing down and reflecting and taking a rest, not producing anything tangible. As I've learned it on my own skin, to be in balance, both of these energies have to be in place. And what typically business books or people on social media or the business gurus are teaching you is purely the masculine way of doing things. The copy this exact method and get 100 customers kind of approach, which might be reliable and repeatable and is perfectly optimized for the environment, but it's gonna make you feel like you're just an outsider in your own business. On a collective or societal level, masculine energy has brought us quite far. We've built complete industries, businesses, set up incredible systems in which we work and run our lives. But for entrepreneurs, especially women, living in this constant push mode means something like, subscribing to the hustle culture. It means glorifying the grind and sleeping on a sofa and eating 50-cent ramen noodles for a month. And to be more serious, it also means completely disregarding any signs of burnout until your body gives in. This is also how the modern-day salesman was created, who is given an arbitrary amount of customers they have to close till the end of the month, let's say. And then whatever manipulative, convincing, or borderline shady tactics they use doesn't matter as long as they push and get the job done. And if you ask me, that's a very yucky way of doing business and earning money. And this will also be something very conceiving to you as the business owner, because on the outside and based on the numbers, you will have a business that's performing amazingly, but all the same time, in the inside, you just feel miserable and that this is like a monster that you've created. So I just want you to think about the costs of running businesses in such a way. So here's a little summary of what happens when you run a business purely based on the masculine. There's no space for rest, reflection, or listening to your intuition. Time is money, and decisions have to be made based on logic, numbers, or someone's interests. Creativity gets completely pushed aside because efficiency is more important. Do you want to be creative and do something? Why bother? There's AI for that. You can use your time for something that generates more revenue. Relationships, may that be a business partner or a colleague, they become purely transactional. Who you know and what they can do for you becomes way more important than the trust or the genuine human connection that relationships are supposed to be built on. Does this sound like a business you would want to build? Feel free to disagree, but in my opinion, this is the perfect recipe for building something that's completely unsustainable and is gonna cost you your mental and emotional and spiritual health. Maybe your physical health too. Plus, just imagine you take out all the joy, the fun, and the experience of experimentation and learning from trying from the whole equation. So this is why I think it's so important to lean into the feminine too. I'm not saying that you should run your business purely on the feminine, but you also shouldn't be thinking about life as this homework that you must do, and try to reconnect with a more playful, joyful, and light-hearted version of yourself. The feminine invites us to slow down, take a pause, reflect a little bit, and tune into our intuitions, to make space for inspiration instead of just like forcing things. And especially for women, to start paying attention to and honoring our cycles, because we all know that we are cyclical beings, and women's cycles determine much of how we operate throughout the month. Believe me, as a woman, I can tell you that life gets just so much easier when you start listening to your body, when you tune into your cycle and the seasons and your individual levels of energy, and you stop expecting from yourself to do things at 100% at all times. This will also help you start redefining what success really is beyond the numbers and what's visible from the outside. So how can we find the balance between the feminine and masculine in business? I guess you're wondering too. And the answer is simple, and I hope it's not disappointing, but you have to feel it. You will have to be the one who starts revising every small action and decision that goes into your business and ask yourself, is this the right way for me to do it? Am I being overly in my masculine, or am I being overly in my feminine? And how can I make sure that I create a balance when it comes to the decisions or the way I run my business? The masculine will always be there to support you with the systems, the structure, and the logical clarity to make sense of things. It helps you make smart decisions. The feminine, on the other side, will help you go deeper. It will give you the space to express your creativity. It will allow you to reconnect with your inner wisdom, with your intuition. And it will be the one that will cheer you on when you find a client or a business partner who gives you just such good vibes that you feel like doing business is a pleasure. The balance, though, will be very different for each one of us, and it's completely based on how you, as an individual, run your business today, and what are the things that you would like to change. What are the things that are causing you a lot of stress and tension inside, and you want to loosen the grip a little bit? Do you have the right goals for the year, for example? Or are you just working towards an arbitrary 20% increase in revenue? Are you working with customers that you chose or attracted intentionally? Or are you just taking in anyone who's willing to pay for your product or services? Is your calendar tightly packed, or is it spacious enough to allow for your natural way and your natural rhythm to decide how you're going to work? Are you copying someone's social media strategy, or are you doing something that feels sustainable enough for you that you don't mind going onto social media and posting that 70th reel? Does it start to make sense now? And if you're still watching this video, thank you for sticking around. It really means the world to me. And before you leave, I really want to invite you to ask yourself this question. Where in your business are you craving more balance right now? What is it in your day-to-day work that you feel like you need to change? Or is it maybe something in a way you connect with your customers, or the way you make decisions? And remember that when you start weaving in a bit more feminine energy into doing business, it's not just guaranteeing a short-term balance. It's also a way to increase the longevity of your business, because enjoying what you're doing on a day-to-day basis not feeling like you're pushing yourself against the wall and reaching burnout and anxiety on a daily basis is gonna help you stay motivated to run that business and to find creative ways to make sure that the business lives on. And most importantly, you'll basically create a business that, from an energetic point of view, not just taking away from you, but also giving back to your life. Something that you will feel that is worth pursuing. And that, in my opinion, is such a rare gem to find in the world today. If you enjoyed this, make sure that you check out my other videos as well in the No More Girl Bossing playlist. I put it down here, so you don't even have to search. I will see you there.